My name's StaceyJ, StaceyJ Pepper, and Stacey Junor. I'm a creative artist. When I say creative, I do a range of different things, from producing music, writing music, making music, playing music. So basically a DJ, producer, singer, songwriter, musician.
Okay. Why come to Derby?
I was born and raised in Derby, so there's no choice. I live here, work here, sleep here, play. So yes, this is where I'm based, in Derby. I have travelled out of Derby, but this is my main base.
When you said you've travelled out of Derby, where have you been?
Okay, where have I been to? I've been to Jamaica. It's just one of the most important places I've ever been to. And I've also been to Berlin, which is the home of electronic dance music and all things creative. So I feel really privileged to be blessed with that.
Okay, what or who inspires you to do what you do?
I inspire myself to do what I do. If I get an idea, it's something that I keep within my mind and just vision it and find ways of how to get there. So I'm very fortunate to know a range of different people within Derby, because that also inspires me as well, the people I have around me.
What else do you do?
Okay, what else I do? I work at a arts centre in Derby called the Quad, which is like Derby's arts centre for culture. I'm also a youth worker, so I work a lot with young people within Derby, and I DJ and produce music.
Cool. I've heard you do quite a few creative projects. Could you tell us what a few of those are?
Wow, I think. Okay, the latest recent project I've done is a carnival project where I was involved with a carnival troupe, of working with like young people and their families from around Derby, and we did all like the East Midland carnival tours. I'm also an ambassador for Derby Fest Day, which is a festival that happens yearly, and I've also put on music events within Derby, like music nights for. I did a night called Live Electronic, which was like a open mic night for musicians. So rather than just having DJs playing music, it was about different styles of bands coming and playing their music to a respective audience.
You mentioned that you're not influenced by the charts. Do you want to expand on that again?
Yeah, basically I'm not influenced by the commercial scene. I'm more of an underground person. In saying that, I prefer things that you discover, because when you stumble upon something and you discover it, it's more special because there's a reason for that. So I like going into the unknown. That's how I play my music as well. I really search for those tunes that no one's really heard, and you know, it's something that I feel myself, and I just put that out there. So yes, the deeper you go, the further you go into things, and the more interesting it'll be. That's my thing.
Do you think that the sound of the underground is something which is more meaningful or purposeful?
I believe it is more meaningful and purposeful, because anything that's commercial is made on a mass production to sell, make money. So for any up and coming artist, I'd say the way forward now is to be poor and to make music that people don't hear of, because everything that's already been heard is a copy of something else. So when it's something someone's made themselves, most of the time it's original, it's natural, and that's the kind of thing I prefer.
And do you feel as though your music is such that it's there to kind of impact, inform, change the listener's kind of mindset, or shift that mindset?
No, for me, I'll make a tune, I'll write music, I'll DJ a mix, it's like a DJ mix, play that. Whoever hears it, they take from it what they want to take from it, because everyone catches something different. So for me personally, I'm just telling a story from my view. They like it, they don't. That's the same way how I am as a DJ. I only play what I like to play. And my audience, if they're not feeling it, they're not, I'm not really interested in that, because another thing for me as an artist or a DJ is it's not just people that are dancing that are enjoying your music. You could also have people sat talking. They're still listening to your music. You could have someone standing around the side still listening to your music. So, yeah, I just please myself, really. Is that selfish? Yeah, please myself. Whoever wants to follow, follows. That's how I am.
That's really selfish.
It is selfish, isn't it? But hey, you have to start with me first.
It's not selfish. But I mean, you mentioned about doing community-based kind of activities. Could you just kind of expand on why do you do community-based activities?
Community work is a way for me to give back. I think the most important thing with anything is when you've got a community of people. I think that's where positive things start. So within Derby, there's a lot of people that I've met before me that have inspired me to go on to do community work. So mainly it started with my youth work as working with young people, and then from that, because I know a lot of the young people's parents, it expands onto that. But I think community-based work is so important for society, and I really enjoy it. That's what I enjoy. And I did start out as doing performing arts. I wanted to be, everyone wanted to be like famous, etc. But for me, I don't want to be on stage in that sense, earning thousands and hundreds. I just do what I'm doing. I think the new in thing now is to be poor, I'd say. That's a new hype thing.
So, in comparison to when you were younger, and did you have certain influences or mentors who did kind of youth-based activities which kind of influenced you to kind of do a similar thing to what you're doing now?
What's really surprised me is I never had any mentors, because when I was at school, I was very much a lone person where I'd just do whatever I wanted to do. As well, when I was at school, we're talking, 12 to 16 in secondary school, I was also the only full black girl in my whole year. So I didn't really relate to anyone, so that was quite hard. So a lot of things I just followed of doing myself, and that's the same as I've progressed with life. I just continue doing things on my own, and then there's interesting people that I meet. I really, really enjoy meeting individual, interesting characters that I can learn from, listen to their stories, because I like to talk a lot, and I really, really enjoy listening to other people's stories, because everyone has a story to tell, and from that you can learn from it.
You talked about some of the interesting people that you've kind of probably been influenced by. Can you tell us a bit more about those people who have influenced you?
Okay, there's quite a few, so if I miss anybody, anyone that watches this, anyone that's been crossed my path or been within my path will know that you've been an interesting person, because I've actually given you my time. So Hollywood, I won't reveal his real name, but he's also an artist that's born in Derby. He's now a successful creative artist in Berlin. He has inspired me because he's a person that's had a dream, he's followed his dream, and his dreams come to life. As far as who else can I think of? Stephanie Hernandez. I remember from when I was young and she'd be on the radio. I'd see her as this lady that was always doing something, and it was very positive to me to have that, knowing that you knew someone that's like radio and really does successful projects. Corey Mwamba is a really interesting musician, and I really have great conversations with him. Who else? Lambu, or some people might know him as Tony Smith. He's one of the best music promoters I've ever met, because he was someone that taught me about how to just do promotions. Who else? And myself. No, I can't think of anybody, but yeah, there's loads of people. I'm sorry if I missed. Gosh, this is putting me on the spot, because I've never thought of these things.
You might not have known them personally, but they might have still influenced you. Books, films.
Okay, a film that influenced me is Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. The actual book and the film has influenced me. Again, The Colour Purple as well. Someone like Oprah Winfrey. Music artists, Aaliyah, because that's who I grew up on. Brandy, Missy Elliott. And I'm team Lil' Kim. Sorry, Nicki Minaj, but I'll always be team Lil' Kim.
Why?
Because for me, Lil' Kim is queen of hip hop, and it's all been done before. You have a lot of young artists just mimicking and carbon copying what's already been seen, which is it's no bad thing, because if you start something and people follow it, that's a positive. But people need to recognise who's the original from it. So, yeah.
You say you've done creative projects like carnivals. Can you think of any others?
Creative projects would be, I've done quite a few house music nights, because to me they're just as creative of people going out and enjoying themselves. I've also done music videos, wrote some music projects. What else? And I've got a lot of projects in the pipeline, which I won't reveal as yet, but I'm now on the path of getting projects together, so I've got some interesting things to come.
Is there anything in the past that you feel as though we've actually lost that you'd love to see come back?
I don't know, because things are always changing, and it's good for change. And for me, if I look back on the past, I don't look back because I'm trying to change something. If I'm looking back, I'll look back to see how far I've come with something. So if anything, if people, I don't know, people have just got to keep that positivity, love, and just respect for each other and encouragement to do good things. That's all I'd say.
Would you say that we're losing that?
I think through things like technology, like things like your smartphones, things like Facebook, because in my day people took that time out to get to know someone personally, because something like Facebook, you don't even need to meet that person, you just go on the profile and know their whole life, and that's a sad thing. I think people are really distancing themselves from real emotions and interacting, and as people we're supposed to connect through energy, and I think technology takes that away.
So do you feel the activities that you're actually doing and the music that you do is to kind of create that kind of energy?
Yeah, to just bring people together. Things like carnivals, it's fun, it's vibrant, the music, the spirit can just set free, so that brings that, the kind of music that I DJ when someone goes out, it's all about just letting go and being free and just dancing and living life as if no one's watching you. That's the sort of thing.
It's quite nice. Living life like no one's watching you.
Yeah.
You know we're going to steal that.
It's all good.
We'll give you props for it.
See, well, there again, I was talking then because I went in it, because that's what happens with me. I find as a creative artist, when you go into yourself and you just start speaking, that's what happens. And I notice with that, that's what I love, when people come together and you just go into yourself and speak as if no one's listening as well.
Have you got any verses from some of your work, some poetry or spoken word stuff that may come to mind which you might want to share with us?
Okay, one of the tracks that I co-produced with a good friend of mine called Hollywood is called Lord Forgive, And quoting from his lyrics are, let's see if I can remember this. I'll be, only be, can be. I never change for anyone. Lord, forgive. That's it. Another track of ours is called Soul Nasty River. I quote a lyric from this one. You came into my river, washed... Oh, God, I can't remember it. You came into my river. I can't remember that one. Scrap that one out. Just use the Lord forgive one.
That's cool.
What do you want your legacy to be once you depart
Okay.
this planet?
So say this video is watched in 100 years' time.
Okay.
What words could you leave behind?
What words or creative body of work would you want to leave behind as your legacy?
I've created music which is out there, and I think your legacy will continue if people research your work and keep listening to something that I've produced or a DJ mix I've put out there. So that will speak for itself in any way, as long as someone comes back feeling good. Or my word of legacy is, and please use this one, this is a StaceyJ Pepper one, keep and stay tasty. That's my word. I want people to be using that, keeping and staying tasty. Thank you. Community is tasty.